Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. And Matt, the New York Jets are putting together their new coaching staff. Feeling good? How do we feel about it?
Feel pretty good. I will note that we are on the road to 2,000 subscribers.
Nice.
We are
Getting in the video.
We are 22 away. I don't think we're ever going to get there. That is my bold prediction. Like, we can make 5,000 more videos, and we'll get like one subscriber per video, and then one will fall off. And I tweeted out, I was like, I'll tweet the Aaron Glenn Homecoming Kanye song if we get 2,000. And then I think we lost a follower or a subscriber after I tweeted it, and I was like, fuck it, I'm going to post it anyway. But if you are here, I know about 500 to 1,000 people watch per video. We love every one of you. If you haven't checked yet, maybe you're not subscribed, go ahead and hit the button. We're on the road to 2K. We are 22 away, Mike.
That's right. We're right there, Matt. We were never going to get there.
We're just never going to get there, no matter
start
what.
Texting extended family that I haven't talked to in a long time.
I love it. Yeah, no, but new coaching staff.
Yeah.
Mike, you've said it for a long time. It feels like the Jets have never had enough coaches. I think Buffalo Jet fan was like, we're 29th in the NFL and having coaches on the roster.
And where did he find that stat? It was hilarious.
Very good. But great, yeah. When you have the idea of having a coach is obviously to build up your team, get the best out of your players. And it did feel like with Hackett, with Downing, with Keith Carter, it just felt like they were there for Rodgers to run the show. And we're pro Rodgers guys. We'll get into it. But it never felt like anyone year over year approved their expectation outside of maybe Jamie Sherwood and Joe Tippmann. Like on the roster, who exceeded their performance and who did they get coached better? It just felt like they didn't have it. And there's no better palate cleanser than bringing in an entire new staff. Like truly outside of Sean Jefferson, everyone's going to be net new for the most part. It is a palate cleanser, and I feel really good. Even though it's a lot of unknowns, it just feels good to have a different crew in here. It does.
It does. I'll give them also Will McDonald. That's fair.
Yeah, very fair.
Will McDick. So 3 out of 50.
3 out of 53 guys. And
well, that's the thing too. We always get, Jet fans get clowned for overrating our own players. And it's like maybe they're supposed to play better. I don't know. Like these are like nationally recognized accolades. Like you have guys that are all pros and just, regressing a little bit. But Matt, to your point, palate cleanser. We were just talking before the show how maybe there'll be like some narrative of Darnold coming back here. I don't know. It feels more realistic now for basically any scenario.
Yeah, the quarterback will be the position that we talk about, and we'll hopefully know in March who the quarterback is going to be. Like, truly, I don't think we're going to draft a quarterback to be the starter. I tweeted out a potential roadmap for 2025. I was like, retain Rodgers, extend Garrett.
Project 2025.
Devontae. And a lot of people replied, like, you don't believe in the cap, or like, the cap is not real. We all agree on that. But the first big move is...
We all agree on that.
Yeah, we all agree. The cap is not real. Steve Wilks is the defensive coordinator, a perfect match. The guy has been coaching since he was 25 years old. He's now 55.
Wow.
So 30 years coaching at all different levels. And if you have a first-time head coach, why not bring a guy in who has been a head coach, albeit a quick stint in Arizona, but then a pretty good interim, 500 record when he was with Carolina. Just a dude to bring to the staff that has seen it all and be almost like a de facto assistant head coach is really how I believe that they'd view him.
Steve Wilkes-Booth, coach longer than he's been alive.
Fair.
Was he the coach when Darnold was there?
In Carolina?
Yeah.
Well, Matt Rule there was that weird Cam came back. He was the intern, but Cam came back for 3 games that year, I think. Remember the Cam Newton return game?
He threw no touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Fucking he probably dressed like a maniac at the press conference.
And then you look at his defenses. There's been years they were 27th early on when he was defensive coordinator. But then in 2023 with the 49ers, top 5 defense in the NFL. And then in the Super Bowl, almost scapegoated probably of 100%. What happened.
He got scapegoated. It's tough.
And now he's back. He's here. Do you think he's going to be the defensive coordinator for 4 or 5 years? Probably not. But come here, build your system, get the most out of your players. And I think it is a perfect compliment for an Aaron Glenn, who's a first-time head coach.
And Strand, the offensive coordinator, is a first-time offensive coordinator, so you don't want to probably go in with all three guys completely fresh. But yeah, Matt, he was the my voice cracked there.
Sounded good.
It did, really?
I didn't hear it.
Nice. Well, good thing I brought it up. My 2023, the Niners had Pro Football Focus's #1 defense. Again, we'll highlight Pro Football Focus when they give us stats that are beneficial to our cause. Definitely. And they were tied with the Jets, so you're starting from the same place basically as the Niners. You know, the Jets still have a lot of those guys on the team, so you know you can say, oh, he, like to your point, he had some tough defenses early on with maybe less talented teams, but the Jets should be right there in terms of talent, especially if you use the 7th pick on the defensive side of the ball.
Definitely. We've talked about how the offense has the pieces that are there. Tanner Engstrand, I'm going to struggle with the last name. I'll call him Tanner. Hardly know her. He comes over and has an interesting past. I'm like, he was with San Diego for a long time. Looks like 12 years in San Diego. Assistant head coach, coordinator. He was a QB coach, running back coach. Has been in a lot of different rooms on the offensive side of the ball. He goes to Michigan under Jim Harbaugh for a year as an assistant, and then he goes to the DC Defenders in the XFL to be the offensive coordinator. I saw some videos of him like mic'd up at DC Defenders practices. He had like the padded arms. He was like tackling people. He's very funny. There was a good like 5-10 minute video that they put out. And then he goes to the Lions for the last 5 years, and you get to sit behind Ben Johnson. You do get to learn a lot. We have Ben Johnson at home. That's how I'll refer to it. He just learned a lot from Ben Johnson. Obviously didn't call plays in Detroit, but soak up all the information you got from him. Detroit had the best offensive line you can imagine, so it made things easier probably on a coordinator. Jets don't have a terrible offensive line either, so maybe he can learn a lot and bring it.
The Jets have a good offensive line, and we had made those, when you were going through, we did a coaching tier list. We're going to do a player tier list probably tomorrow. But when we made our coaching tier list, we were talking about Ben Johnson because, we're talking about everybody. And we said the Jets offense is similar in a way where you start off with a good line. You have a terrific running back, maybe a really good pair. You have probably better receivers if Devontae Adams stays. And then, why couldn't an Aaron Rodgers be Jared Goff? So, but people keep saying that, they run the West Coast offense, yada, 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 similar to Rodgers. So that's always been one of the obstacles too in keeping Rodgers is, does he want to learn a new offense? Seems like a decent shot that, our boy stays around.
Did you see my tweet that the New York Giants have requested to interview Tanner Engstrand for their 2026 head coach vacancy? The reason I tweeted that out is the moment LaFleur was hired under Saleh's staff in 2021, there is, I shit you not, a dozen tweets of people saying, oh, we got to really make the most out of the first 2 years with him because he's definitely going to be a head coach in like 2023, 2024. And obviously we know how LaFleur ended up. But yeah, it's cool to have a young offensive guy. It seems like he goes more West Coast offense.
Yep.
We'll see who he pairs him with that quarterback, but I hope he gets a fair shot to really implement what he wants to do. Because there's a lot of times where there's meddling and they're changing the plays of the line, having a young quarterback that might not be able to absorb all of what you're trying to put in. So maybe a guy like Rodgers will take a back seat and say, okay, let's run your offense, see what we can do. It'll be fun. I'm looking forward to having another young offensive guy. I know he's young and he hasn't called plays at the NFL level, but why not? Why not take a shot here? So Aaron Glenn likes him.
Yeah, man, Aaron Glenn's cool. He's really cool.
Dude, the clip of him to Samini when he tried to compare him to Parcells was great. Just perfect.
I'm Aaron
Glenn.
Oh.
Wow. And then Chris Banjo, Mike, special teams coordinator.
Dude.
Elite special teams coordinator name. Elite.
Great. Yeah, we can make we should sell banjos.
Do you ever play Banjo and Kazooie growing up?
A banjo or what?
Banjo and Kazooie, the game?
No.
Did you have an N64 growing up?
Crash Bandicoot?
Close. No, Banjo and Kazooie is an elite game in the early 2000s. But Chris Banjo?
Yeah, no, I like it. We always talk about how Brant Boyer survived like 3 different president terms.
Was it 4? Like it.
4. Yeah. I don't know.
How many return touchdowns do the Jets have in like the past 9 years under Brant Boyer? Like, if you take out like Andre Roberts had the great year.
Xavier Gibson had the punt.
We had one this year. Who had it?
The Kiki guy.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple. Are there? No, we went out. There was a long stretch where they didn't have a defensive touchdown. Was that including kick returns?
Yeah, that was like the 20. It was like Tremaine Johnson had one against the Titans, and there wasn't another one until
started that game.
Yeah, they didn't have one until 2018, Week 1 against Detroit. And the Jets, I think, had 2 in that game.
Darren Lee and
a punt blocked,
punt return.
Yeah,
Curly. No. Andre Roberts. Yeah,
Andre Roberts. Yeah. Did you also see my tweet where I took Jet new head coaching coordinators in their most recent season of coaching? They're a combined 52-14, 82% win, because I obviously cherry picked having Tanner and Aaron Glenn being 15-2 last year.
You doubled both of them.
I doubled both of them. I took Chris Banjo's 10-7 with Denver. And I didn't take Steve Wilkes being the interim. I took his 12-5 season from the 49ers, and he was the coordinator. But yeah, you have guys that have won football games. Yeah. And have they won at the next level of being a coordinator or coach? No. But they've been around winning.
Well, Steve Wilkes has, so that's good, to your point.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Right. I'm thinking at like the
head coach.
If you step up the level, but Mike, it feels good. They also get Chris Harris, the DB coach, who we both thought was the old cornerback, which I don't think
it's a separate man as that person.
Who else have they brought in?
Well, the GM, Mudang.
I think we did. Didn't we do a?
We did a video
on Muji.
We did a video. I feel like no. Oh, the offensive line coach is the Lions. Steve Hayden.
I believe Stephen Hayden's also the name of a writer who always writes like Bruce Springsteen and Billy Joel books.
I have a horrific joke, and I won't make it on the podcast. I won't do it. I gotta text you it.
Good. Text it to me right now.
Holy shit.
We'll do Broadway Jets After Dark on Patreon. I don't think, Mike, if we made a Patreon, how many people do you think we can get to do it?
Hundreds, whatever are thousands.
They get like one video every 2 weeks.
It's the worst. Like $2.50 a week, $2.
We have a lot of people. I always bring up at the end of the show. I'll bring it up in the middle here. How if you're ever a huge fan of Broadway Jets, we're not following you back on Twitter. We will absolutely follow you back. I had like 3 people that made it to the end of the last video DM me, including a guy who gave us a new logo that looks very good, that we may have to swap out for copyright infringement, because the logo we have right now.
What you say?
The logo we have right now is the Brooklyn Brewery logo.
We've like sold merchandise.
It's very funny because I think nobody has really called it out, but I'll get like one guy a year that will DM me and be like, "You just completely took their logo," and I'm like, "No, like, do you see the jet?" And they're like, "No, you actually just copy their logo."
It's the logo, yeah. We should. The other one looks good too. So
looks very good. Whoever made that, I have your name.
Yeah.
Shout them out. You text me the joke.
I texted you the joke.
Yeah, thank you for not for not saying that joke. It might be a different word.
It's not the same word. Oh,
but man. You could, if anybody were to make it.
I would. Yes.
Maybe we'll make that joke at the Badlands live show on April 11th. It'll be easier for you to attend. You can get over there pretty quickly in Manhattan. I would have to take a train up.
Come hang out. It was very nice. Joe Cap and Connor Rogers and those guys invited us to an event. I believe Jake Assman will be there. The Ass Man. But it was funny because Joe Cap hit us up today, and he was like, "Are you guys free the 11th?" And we're like, "Yeah." And it was April 11th. We assumed that it was going to be in like 10 days. So
yeah, I was wrong on that one. Yeah. But that'll be fun. Make that joke there. See how that plays in that audience. See if that.
Yes. Well. Oh man, that's good.
But yeah, we'll do a tier list video hopefully tomorrow on every player on the 2024 Jets. Mike, I'm already thinking ahead to that video. like where we're gonna put Aaron Rodgers, because like I
Well,
know
it's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good eye opener for us to see. Like I want to rank him out.
Yeah.
How did Tyron Smith How did that not work?
You and I will forever stand by that move.
No, it's a great move, but it's that was good roster management. Then you had Olu, so you had great a lot of depth.
So good coaching staff. We're building it. Get more coaches in here. You'll have like a running back coach at some point.
You see, Josina Anderson made another cryptic tweet today, where it's just like the Jets could hire another coach, maybe. So
Josina's like the gift of like, why are you the way that you are? Like, you break a ton of stories. She's been on top of her game, except after the Muji story, she went dark for like 24 hours. Never like posted anything. Was right. Has been right. Before. She never bought into the Nick Caley hype that he was going to come to the Jets. So Josina gets a lot of credit. She obviously knows what she's talking about. But the way that she'll phrase tweets are so insane, it boggles the mind. She'll be like, the Jets are currently looking at senior staff and the importance of bringing a person, and she'll like give no other context. And we're like, is it Doug Peterson? Who I would love to bring in Doug Peterson. Again, could be an assistant head coach. Could be another mind to be in the offensive room, and you have Tanner Eggstrand that can learn from a guy who's called plays, won championships. It'd be pretty cool.
That's what we need. I feel just like another. That was your point too, I think, before, where you said like no one has ever achieved the highest levels as the head guy. So like it'd be nice to have Doug in there.
Is that a Woody problem though, with not hiring staff? Like it's got to be, right?
We should ask Connor Hughes.
Because if you think about it, you give a lot of, obviously being an owner, you give $250 million a year in cap alone. And you have a ton of other expenses that come with it. Obviously, you get a lot back from owning the team and having home games and all that good stuff that comes with revenue sharing. But every coach you have on their staff is a six-figure salary. Every coach.
Yeah.
And if Doug Peterson wants to come here for, like, I couldn't even tell you, like, 800,000. Like, I don't even know what it would be.
I don't know what it would be. Is there it's like a player minimum?
Because head coaches can get anywhere from like 5 to 10. You go crazy like 12 or 13 with the new cool head coach. But I think Salah made probably around 5 to 10. No,
I think so.
And then
what did Vrabel get? He got some crazy offer.
Yeah, coordinators probably make 1, 2, maybe. We are speaking of people that have no concept of it. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe
I don't know. I actually don't know.
Maybe Woody Johnson's like, do you need 4 other assistant coaches making $200,000 each? Like, I want to save $1 million and not. But at a point, that's beer sales in the first quarter of a home game, so it doesn't matter that much.
Beer. Come on, they got to give better packages too. The season ticket stuff. Do we get anything?
We do. What they'll send me, because it's under my name. Yeah. They'll send me a cool box, and you're like, oh, a Jet box, new logo, everything. You open it up, and they give you a piece of paper from Woody Johnson that's not physically signed. It's like an auto signature, like, oh, welcome to the package, whatever. It'll be a Jet yearbook.
Yeah.
Which is hilarious to look over year, like who's on the cover of it. And then maybe like a coaster or a magnet for the schedule. It is the worst package ever. And the problem is, every time I tweet about how bad the package is, I get 100 replies. Like, it's your fault, you dumbass, you shithead, for having season tickets. And it's like, you can't even vent about it because you'll get murdered. But yeah, it's not good.
It's not good. Oh, I'm so excited for next year. But I just hope they do. I hope they're aggressive, Matt. I just hope they're aggressive. Try to win next year. Like, I really want them to try to win. We just can't have any more time of losing.
Yeah. I wonder what they're going to do. We're in a cool period where you're going to have, Super Bowl on Sunday. Then you have like 2 weeks off where it's dead in the NFL. Then the franchise tag window will open. You can do fifth-year options during that time period as well, which the Jets will have many options to do. I think that happens right before the combine. We're like 25.
They pick up all of them, though.
Maybe not Jermaine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because maybe prove them with the H list.
That's why I know you want to do a clean sweep of the coaching staff, and the front office has been probably gutted behind the scenes. You probably want to keep a guy like Phil Savage, or who's the guy, he spoke in my college class like a decade ago. What's his name? He's like the head of director personnel now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's
He told you about Demario Davis, that guy?
Yeah, I was asking him about why they brought in Avery Williamson over Demario Davis, and then that next 2 months later, he went off. That was into the Darnold draft in 2018, and I was talking to him about different quarterbacks and what moves they made. He was awesome, very very cool guy, and he's survived a lot of different GMs, and he was in the Tannenbaum era too as a scout.
Yeah.
And I asked him the difference between all three GMs, and the entire class, there was 30 people in it. I had like 9 questions. It was just him and I talking the entire time. And he said he learned from Tannenbaum how to make a big move via trade or free agency to really set your team up around that big move. He's like, you truly can get one free agent, not even a quarterback, but one player from one trade that can change your locker room and your performance on the field. That was what he learned from Tannenbaum.
Dude, Tannenbaum was so awesome. I fucking love Tannenbaum.
He was great. I think everything I know about Tannenbaum was Hard Knocks related too. Like that's when you got to see him cook in his prime.
It would just be like the only time where they were like, we should really get this guy, and the Jets would just actually trade for that guy all the time.
Well, Douglas in 2024 offseason did it.
He did it. We loved it.
Yeah.
I would have done it again.
And then I gotta get the guy's name. So he told me he learned from Idzik how to handle the cap. And he said, look, John Idzik will get a ton of shit. I was only with him for 2 years. He's like, he knew how to run the cap, and he was very complimentary of him. What's this guy's name? Oh, I want to find it.
I feel like some teams just not understand the salary cap. Like, what is going on? Like, what do they do? They like, do they have a specialist?
His name is Greg Nejma. Last name is not correct. No way.
That's a
but
tough
he's the
name.
co-director of player personnel. Who?
Nejma?
It's Nejmeh. And he then talked about how Mike Maccagnan, he gave him a lot of credit for his drafting at that time. It's funny because he only had he had 3 or 4 drafts up to that point. But if you remember, Mike Maccagnan would have a book of like 225 prospects. That was his whole thing.
Yeah.
He'd have a binder of every prospect, where Douglas brought that down to like, we care about 80 guys that we want to draft.
Right.
Different tiers, and for better or for worse.
He said Maccagnan was great at drinking coffee in the morning and during all day.
I remember at 2015 training camp that we were at, you and I were screaming at Maccagnan in a positive manner that he brought Revis back. And I remember he looked over and nodded, and the fans went crazy.
That was a fun year.
But Mike, I think you keep Phil Savage or someone, and Richie from Jets Media asked Phil Savage in Mobile and said, "Are you still with the team?" And he made a comment like, "For now, I am."
Oh,
which is an interesting comment. But I think you want to retain him because the Jets had player exit interviews in 2024. Obviously, every team has them. You need someone who is in those interviews and knows what happens to then lead the next regime forward. And maybe Phil Savage, like, I stay here in 2025. I maybe take an assistant GM job in the future, but he can be that good transition period between him, the old regime, and the new regime. Because also Phil Savage knows where the bodies are buried. He knows what players can do off the field, on the field, who we want to extend, who we don't want to extend. Darren Muji can come in here with a whole new staff and be unaware of what has happened in the past 4 years. Maybe how Garrett's feeling, how Sauce is feeling.
Go backwards to go forwards, yeah.
I'd be fine retaining him, but also, Mike, you got to get rid of the leaks. The organization has been plagued in the past 5 years with things being leaked out of the organization, and that was a whole thing from Douglas. We weren't going to see that again. He was going to cramp down on it.
It was for a while, and then it fell apart.
It got really bad. It got really, really bad.
What the hell? It just, Matt, again, it's too far gone at this point with all the things that have happened, so you just have to just win games. And that's what frustrates us so much, because it just feels like, things could not go your way the next time, and like they didn't last year, and then people turn. But honestly, I give a lot of Jet fans credit that have come around to the idea of keeping Rodgers and doing certain things, but you just gotta win football games next year early on.
I think Jet News on Twitter, I believe, keeps posting Rodgers liking all like the photos of the new hires, of highlights from the 2024 season on Instagram. So why are you liking all these photos and videos if you don't have an interest in returning? Again, he could retire and not want to bring his body through it. But I'm going to make a larger point, whether Rodgers returns, retires, or plays elsewhere. And I'll do we'll do a video on whenever that does happen. But Mike, if right now I am asked 20 years from now, we always talk about we're in the backyard, our kids are like, what happened in 2024? Like Aaron Rodgers, Hall of Famer, top 10 quarterback ever. Talk to me about it. All I would say is Rodgers came here when he didn't have to. Yes, the Packers weren't going to retain him, but he didn't have to come here, and he did. And when he came here, he had a whole offseason where he changed the energy, and all he cared about was flipping the script, and he got hurt after 4 plays. He then rehabbed to try to come back that year when his whole body went through it, then played 17 games, and if it didn't work out, it didn't work out. And I can very much say that I appreciated Aaron Rodgers being a Jet. And that might be an unpopular take for a lot of people. People can say, fuck him, his politics, he's an arrogant piece of shit, whatever. I will always look fondly, at least of him trying to flip the script here. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
That's right. And we did get to see him play. It would have been incomprehensible for his career to have ended after last year and not have gotten to actually see it. So we got to see it. And hopefully we get what we want and we get to see it again, but with some winning and because just how fun would it be, Matt? Oh,
well, one of the lowest moments you can ever have is obviously we were at the game. He gets hurt, and I'm in the car with your dad, and I am banged up. Right, I'm near legless after he got hurt. I started boozing.
I'm sure he was very completely good to go.
He was great, and we were in the car, and you're assuming it's an Achilles injury, and your vibes are low, even though they won the game. And like we're 5 minutes from home at like 1:15 in the morning, and your dad's like, I gotta stop and get a coffee. And I'm like, Elliot, we're 5 minutes from home. Like, can we gotta get home? And we stopped and got a coffee at Wawa. And there's another Jet fan in the jersey, and he's looked at us and he was like, this is the worst. And I remember waking up, had to go to work the next day. I remember I had a huge meeting that I had to present on.
Yeah, because it was Monday Night Football.
Yep. And I woke up because I stayed in our hometown that night.
Right.
And I remember waking up in my childhood bedroom, and I opened my eyes, and I'm like, we might never see him play a game in a Jet uniform. And at that time, there was no rehab. There was no pictures of Instagram of him coming back. And that thought happened a year and a half ago, was one of the most damning moments of my life. We've had a pretty good life. Dude,
That's pretty good.
I was depressed. Yeah, I was like,
oh my God. It hurt. It's just, and we spend so much time thinking about the team. This is like, it's a hobby. It's fun, kinda. And you spend so much time, you put a lot of time into it. And then something happens that's supposed to be a really exciting period for the team, and then it's just destroyed like that. And it's just that like that. But at that point, man, there's probably a 50% chance he didn't play again.
Yeah, 41 off an Achilles. But I'm like, how fast does time go? Where it was 2 years ago, nearly 2 years ago, Douglas on stage with Boomer Esiason and Gio saying he's going to be here. Like, that was 2 years ago.
Crazy.
We've aged, man. We've aged since that moment.
I look at my beard. I look like I went into a cave. Ayahuasca.
One more point before we wrapped up. I'm trying to think about it.
That was well said about the Rodgers. He was voted MVP of the best teammate. Gave all the offensive line crazy gifts. He really doesn't even say that many annoying things. Like when he was on the Packers, we hear from the national media about, some good things, some negative things from about Rodgers, all this stuff, whatever. And it's like, I thought coming here, he would be more overtly annoying. That people would be all over. Like, I don't know.
And again, we talked about it last week, I think. You bring your buddies here, everything. All right, the Jets signed Alan Lazard and signed Nathaniel Hackett to be here to get him. Obviously, it could have been a heavy-handed.
When Tom Brady went to the Bucks, he brought all his friends, whatever, Gronk and fucking Antonio Brown. And
yeah, it just like it feels. I don't know. It just feels like the narrative in 5 years from now, it'll be changed to he brought 12 coaches and 15 players. They're all terrible. It's like, all right, he brought Billy Turner, Alan Lazard, and Nathaniel Hackett. Like,
Who cares?
We would have all signed up for it again. And maybe most Jet fans would say we would run it back. It didn't work out. I was thinking, though, because I've been binging Severance on Apple TV.
Very good.
And I wonder a world where I had a tweet that I was trying to craft up. It just did not work. Like, if you would take being a fan of a team, like having that Severance package where
wow, very interesting.
Your whole life can be lived without worrying about it. But when you're watching the game or there, it's like a different person. And I guess your outer self would never know how good or bad the sports fandom went. Like, I wish I took that deal last year and never had to experience 2024 or 2023.
Is it only when they're good or bad, or you could only one and a half of you could watch it?
That's the fear. I think they could be great, and you'll just never know if you
no,
you take it.
No,
but I guess you could, like, it wouldn't be permanent. Like, if you're going into a year like 2017 for the Jets,
beforehand.
You could do it beforehand.
Wow. 2023 was very unpleasant. 2024, at least we got to watch some cool stuff.
Yeah, but we have a good tier list coming tomorrow. Mike, how many? I'm gonna ask you this today. I'm gonna try to get this up in the next hour.
That's what she said. She's sick.
Try to get it up. You gotta stop saying it. We're gonna try to post the video. Still, you could say pause in an hour. How many subscribers are we gonna get? We're 22 away. By the time we record tomorrow, I think we're gonna get 3 net new.
We're Brodney Pool followers away. We should tweet out. That doesn't make sense. Tweet out a guy every subscriber we gain. Who else was 22? Ed Reed,
people unsubscribe so we can tweet out below Powell. Like, they want to go down. I think we might get more because I made the point at the beginning that we probably won't ever get it. So maybe someone will feel bad and be like, oh, I've been watching the videos, not subscribed. Let me hit it. If you have a Google account, you can subscribe as many times as you want.
Was Tremaine Johnson number 22?
He was. Claiborne was 21.
Claiborne was 21. Claiborne was a good Jet.
Let's go down the list real quick because I definitely need to. I'm late to go.
20. Thomas Jones.
19.
Clyde Gates.
Mike Williams.
Mike
Williams 18.
Was he 18? Was Clyde Gates 19? Let's see.
What was Andre Roberts?
I think he was also 19.
That's what I thought.
Well, that's good because why would you bring that up if not? Clyde Gates. Show me the fucking number. I don't know. Who else? 18. Mike Williams. 17. Braylon?
Monte. Sharon Peak?
Sharon Peak. Nice.
16's a tough one, I feel like.
Smith.
Vinny.
15.
Wallace Marshall.
Was it Brandon Marshall? Tebow. 14's easy.
14's easy. 13, Don Maynard.
Wow.
12. Who the fuck was 12?
No Namath.
11.
11, there's Curly was 11.
Curly.
He's also 14. Who else is 11? Santonio's 10 and Chad. The single digits are tough. It's like all quarterbacks are kicking.
Mark Brunell was 8.
Yeah. Who was 9? Was there a 9?
Yeah, Bryce Petty. 7, Michael Vick.
6 is the Sanchez up there, baby.
5, Hackenberg. 4, Favre.
Yeah. Was Vic 4 in the Jets?
It could be. Who was 7?
No, Vic was 1, I think.
He was 1.
Yeah. 7? Maybe one of the punters?
Steve Weatherford was 9, right?
I think Folk was 2.
Folk was 2, definitely.
Yeah.
Who was a good number 3 random backup quarterback for the Jets?
Greg McElroy, Kevin O'Connell.
Greg McElroy was 3?
No. I thought you meant third string. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what number.
Number 3. I'm trying.
Was he 14, McElroy?
I believe.
Oh, we did float this idea out for your bachelor party. Everybody get old Jet quarterback jerseys. I don't know.
Would we go play golf? And I love that idea. It's
do we go to one of the
foursomes of people wearing an old Jet jersey?
One of the activities planned would have to be mandated.
So the people that are coming, I don't think. How many Jet fans are there? There's 4. John, the other Matt.
We listed off how many jerseys we have, right? What do we have? We have a Sanchez. We have a Pennington.
I have a million Darnolds.
Gino, Darnold. We have Rodgers. It's like 6, 7.
We never got a Fitzpatrick jersey. You got a T-shirt of Fitzpatrick?
I never did. I only have Marshall and Revis from that team.
It happened too quick, I feel like, with Fitzpatrick. We didn't expect anything, and out of nowhere it was great. And we were like, we need Marshall.
Yeah.
Fuck. All right, Mike, we have a lull period ahead, but we're going to really try to commit to 3 videos a week. Really try to commit to it.
Yeah.
And if it goes well, we love it. I think our most viewed video be a fun thing to look at. Oh, I know what our most viewed video is. I think it's when we were at the Jet Chief Sunday night game, and I think SMY Jets or somebody put out a video of Taylor Swift walking in.
Oh yeah.
I just screen recorded and put it on our YouTube, and it has like 15,000 views.
Oh, the all-time Jet plays has a good amount.
Oh, I think that was a great video you made. In that, it has 37,000 views on that video.
Let's go.
And it's a great because I think you have Garrett Wilson's touchdown against the Browns twice.
100%. Yeah, it's in there 2 times.
So Taylor Swift is number 2.
Connor Hughes' video's got to be up there.
There's another video I stole of Rodgers and Woody walking out of Aaron Rodgers' house.
I remember that. That was a great job by you.
Rodgers, Connor Hughes video has 5K. Oh, who's the Packers insider that we had on?
Oh, Matt.
He has 4.9K. I have a video.
He's great.
Every touchdown allowed by Sauce Gardner in 2022 is a 5-second video.
That's just nothing.
That's 3.8 thousand. You know what? I'm making a Hassan Reddick video.
Yes.
I'm making Hassan Reddick.
Dude, I almost text. I swear to God, I wasn't gonna use Hassan Reddick, but I almost put in the our chat with Joe Cap today. I was gonna be like, when he asked if we were around that day, I was gonna be like, oh, hold on, I have to finish watching like so and so's highlight video, like Eric Tomlinson. And I'm like, okay, I'm in.
That's another great video we did. I don't think it got many views. We did a tier list of the Tomlinsons that have played for the Jets.
Oh, when the Jets signed Laken Tomlinson.
I gotta find that video. That was unbelievable.
It was Laken, LaDainian, Eric Tomlinson.
What?
So funny. Was there a 4th guy or was just 3 of them?
There's only 3.
Our Oregon Trail videos are fun. Let's play a different game.
We do.
Or you know what I was thinking, Matt? I really wanted to, but you don't have an Xbox. Is replay the 2024 season with normal coaches as us.
The Tomlinson draft has 201 views.
It's so stupid.
I think I tweeted out like Connor Hughes joins the show. So somebody really enjoyed the in-depth analysis from Connor Hughes. Jet News, I really sat down for 5 minutes to watch 2 guys rank 3 Jets named Tomlinson.
I mean, it's pretty straightforward.
I think this video is going to be titled The Truth about the Jets 2025 coaching staff. Very ominous. People might click that video.
The Paul Pierce.
I love it. All right, Mike. I think we're good?
Sir, good work.
Have a good one, buddy.
Jet up.